Welcome back to Spark School. We are grooving through these modules. Now, this one hits very close to home for me. It's something that I have experienced on multiple occasions. It's something I'm sure I will continue experiencing until I die because it's part of the human experience, and that is imposter syndrome. Now, if you haven't heard that term before, my definition of it is feeling like you're a fraud, feeling like you don't belong, particularly when you're doing something that you love to do. For me, this was coaching, this was helping women, this was creating Spark. I was constantly questioning myself, like, who am I to do this? Like, someone's gonna find out that I really don't know what I'm talking about. When in reality, like, I know deep down that I know what I'm doing. I know that my intuition is leading me in all of the right directions, but I was also constantly comparing myself to the way that other people are doing it, and therefore making myself feel like I was an imposter. And I was so afraid that even the people closest to me would find out that I was secretly not good enough. Have you ever felt this way before? I'm sure there's like 10 million people raising their hands right now because, like I said, it's part of being human. So I want to walk you through the process of how I get through this every time, because it still happens. Every time I try something new or I expand, you know that term that they say, new level, new devil? There's always that little devil whispering into my ear telling me that I'm not good enough. So this is what I do, and hopefully it can help you too. Whenever I start to question, and this happened recently, I was speaking at an event that was on the other side of the country, and there was some amazing other speakers there, and I was so nervous that the event organizers were gonna be like, who is this chick? I'm so upset that we brought her out here. Like, she's not really good enough to be on our stage. And this was starting to psych me out. I started to feel nervous about my abilities as a speaker. I started to feel like maybe they made a mistake, even though I have spoken on so many stages now at this point. So I got out of the environment. I isolated myself a little bit. I got into that meditative visualization state, and I visualized myself doing what I was there to do in a way that I knew could impact the world, and the way that I knew that was going to be my gift to that audience, and forgetting about what other people thought and just focusing on how I wanted to serve got me out of that space where I was thinking about me and what other people thought about me, and really focusing on how I could serve the people that were there. Now, if you're watching this, and a lot of women who are involved in the Spark community are healers, they're teachers, they're people that have gifts that they want to give to the world to improve the world, to improve other people's lives. Now, if you're feeling the imposter syndrome, if you're feeling like a fraud, if you're feeling not good enough, I gotta tell you, I'm gonna give you some harsh words because I've had to tell myself this multiple times. You're being a little selfish, because it's not about us. It's about what we can do to serve others. And the more that you worry about whether you're good enough, the more that you're holding your gift back for other people. You got to know this. The people that you are comparing yourself to, and when we feel imposter syndrome, we're more often than not comparing what we're doing to other people. So when I first started coaching, I was comparing my knowledge and my experience and the way that I teach to others that are out there in internet land. And it made me feel like, well, if I'm doing something different, maybe I'm doing something wrong. The people that you are admiring and that you are comparing yourself to also have imposter syndrome. I know, it's shocking, and they're comparing themselves to other people, but they're doing the work anyway. So there's going to be times throughout their entire life, whether you're comparing yourselves to in a job capacity, or even like sometimes as a parent, going to like parent-teacher conferences where I feel like I might be a fraud at like raising my own children, which is redonkulous, but that's just how we feel. And so it's so important, one, just to recognize when you're doing it, and two, don't let it stop you. I guarantee this feeling will pass for you, as it does for me if I'm going through all of my self-care rituals, such as meditating and visualizing, and stop focusing on what I think others are thinking of me and just focusing on what I want to give others. So in this week's worksheet, we're gonna walk you through the areas of your life that you may be experiencing imposter syndrome, or areas that you have in the past, because awareness is the first step into really dissecting our belief system and really understanding why you've been feeling this way and how you can stop feeling it in the future, or at least get better at moving through it.